Yeah, it's been all right. I've had a good weekend, and I've got to say, I watched. I thought, well, I'll tell you what I do. On Saturday evening, I watched the old Man City game, and love and behold, there's Rodri going around kicking who he likes again, like not getting books again. Like that's the
It's
first.
unbelievable, isn't it?
Unbelievable how he gets away with it. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know how he does. And then of course the VAR. You know what I mean? I'm sure that the referees had some sort of envelope put through his door today, like you know what I mean, because that was horrendous. Frank Lampard, I have to say, come out and said it spot on today or yesterday. That, you know, he just didn't do his job properly, and there's no excuse now. Dan, he has got. I don't want to see him anywhere near a game of football again, because if you cannot give handball for that, right, and you just cannot be officiating for anything love or money. And then I've got to say this now. I've got to say this that I then watched the what's that there now? I'm just looking at the snooker. Sorry, I've got to say that I watched the boxing yesterday, and I hope they're going to do something about that. Because, you know, because I'm telling you this now, I've got nothing against Josh Taylor. I've got nothing, you know, against him. You know, he fought. It's not his fault. But for him then to turn around and say that he won it and all that, like, you know, look, listen, he could have actually fought that when he's fighting. I ain't got a problem with that. But once he's watched it back, he should be, you know, saying, oh, no, that's not right. And for me, I will never, if Josh Taylor is fighting another fight, I will not watch it. I will not watch it.
Can I just say, Lee, as well, that it ain't Josh, it ain't even Josh Taylor and you know, the people that be coming out. Felt a bit sorry, really, because everyone's going to give him abuse. It ain't him who I'm annoyed with. It's the three people have decided that he should have won the fight. It's a madness.
They need to be taken for. But if boxing's got any credibility, they do say about and go, no, that's not right. Because I don't know no one that's turned around and said that he won that fight. A couple of people have said it was maybe a little bit closer than what people thought. Look, I'm no boxing expert. I like to go and watch a few bouts. I've been to a few. But ultimately, you know when someone wins and when someone don't. And that was a complete and utter farce. And it's just ruining sport. I'm seeing it in so many things now. You know, VAR has got to go, by the way. I'm just not enjoying VAR. Look at a couple of those decisions today. The offside things, you know. I'm telling you that one today. Lukaku's onside. I looked at it. Where are they getting it? Where are they putting their line on? Like, you know what I mean? It just doesn't seem
unbelievable.
It's incredible. Like, I mean, so I don't really know what's going on with VAR. You know, the offsides, you can't celebrate a goal. You know, sometimes it gets it right, but most of the time, what VAR has done, Dan, and I don't care what anybody says, it's we're still talking about it and arguing about it. There's no the controversy is still there, 100%. You know what I mean? Hasn't taken it away in any shape or form. So for me, get rid of it. Let's get our football back. I can tell you that now. I'm not enjoying football at this moment in time. I'm watching games, you know, people are not celebrating and they're not celebrating. Get back to how it was. You know, there was nothing wrong with football 2-3 years ago. Like, it wasn't. And I'm sorry, like, you know, I'm not having it no more. If you cannot give a handball for that on that VAR decision, I know Everton's Kevin's team and everything like that, but ultimately, if you cannot give handball for that, then what is it doing? What are we doing there? Look, I don't care who won or lost that game. Really. It's not nothing to do with me, like, you know what I mean? But if that was Arsenal, you would be saying there's a conspiracy against us. There's something not quite right, you know. So look, it's done now. There's nothing you can do. But you know what? It's had a bit of taste in me that the boxing. I'm going to say that now. You know, I thought it was a really good fight as well. I really, you know, it was a tense fight. Ruined. Yeah,
I felt sorry for the guy. I really did. I felt so sorry for Jack because I thought it was such a good fight. He did such a great job. Complete underdog. Everybody thought it was going to be a shock and everyone was excited to see it announced. And for that to happen and for them to get that so wrong, I just thought it was absolutely ludicrous. And to see Rodri clearly handball it, you know, and people are going, oh, everyone's only like up in arms because it's Liverpool. What about Everton? Everton have got a season where they're struggling for points. Frank Lampard's just come in. He's had a couple of games against the best team in Europe, let's say, at the moment, probably one of anyway. And then you get Manchester City, who have then gone and completely robbed them. And I just thought it was just harsh, the referee there. And what we're seeing in VAR is just still so controversial. Kev, let's quickly bring you in. Can you hear us all right, KC? You got sound issues?
I could hear you fine. It was some computer issues. I don't know. Maybe it was Liverpool winning. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Maybe it was. Do you know what, Kev? On that
glitch in the matrix, mate.
On Liverpool winning, I don't understand what Thomas Tuchel, what the drugs he's been taking, but to bring on Kepa, Kev, I've never seen anything like this. And then for him to let 11 penalties in and then miss his own one, he looks like a silly boy now to Tuchel, because Mendy's been class for Chelsea, isn't he?
Dan, look, let's talk about football. And people tell us football's better now, right? You're telling me you've got your number one goalkeeper in the goal, and you're gonna swap him. Remember, Kepa's got form on this. He wouldn't come off it one. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
And now Tuchel's bringing him on. Why? Why is he bringing him on? Fair enough, if that's what he wants to do. So he got what he deserved. He got what he deserved in the end. Mendy had a great game. Let's be honest. Why take him off? So I'm not just saying it's down to Tuchel, but that is a key decision at that stage of the game. And who knows? Mendy might have saved one. Who knows?
Yeah, we won't know now, will we? We will not know
exactly.
now. Do you know what? It was actually one of the best goalless games I've seen in a long time, but it could have been about 5 or 6 goals. We saw it hit the net loads of times, every single time. Offside, Van Dijk interfering with play, Havertz offside, Lukaku offside. And I thought, wow, no one wants anyone to score here. But I must admit, both teams going for it. I know you'll probably disagree, Kev. I would have preferred to have seen Liverpool win than Chelsea. Just my preference. A lot of people the other way around. But I didn't really care, if I'm honest with you. It's a final that I would have loved to have been in myself, but obviously we weren't there. And let's just say we lost to the winners, so I suppose we can say that we lost to the holders.
Dan,
go on, mate.
I can't win on this one. I can't win. I'm a London boy and I'm an Arsenal man, so Chelsea's an enemy, and I'm Everton and the Merseyside, so Liverpool win. What can
it's
I
horrible,
do?
Isn't it?
You know, can they both lose? I suppose.
They tried to, I think. I think they both tried to.
Yeah, them going to penalties probably was the best scenario in the end. That's all I could wish for. And it went down to probably changing the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I think it was. It was just calm. Do you know what? I don't know about you, but watching it, you're just thinking it was like 7, 8. It was just written, wasn't it? You just knew. After what had happened to him in the penalty shootout a few years ago when he refused, it was like football karma just coming back. And you just knew. I just knew that he was going to miss.
Yeah.
Just and he never got near one penalty. And I've got to say, it was a good penalty shootout. The penalties were fantastic. I don't think who was in goal. I think he got one where he got an hand to it, maybe to keep. But there was some under that sort of pressure. You have to admire. The penalty taking there. I have to say that. So under that sort of pressure. But again, I thought VAR. Ruined it a little bit there. Can anybody tell? Like when I see that Lukaku, I'm thinking that's on the side. Well, I don't know who,
his arm may be there, but you don't score with your arm.
No, it's a goal, and then all of a sudden, no. And did you notice how quick these decisions were? I was in the Emirates the other day, sitting around for about 5 minutes for a couple of goals. You know what I mean? Like straight away, bang, and they were nowhere near as close as these ones.
Do you know why though, Lee? I didn't realise until I saw it for myself. They're on the screen, all of them, being shown at Wembley. So they're watching them live as they're thinking about it. So now it's got to be quick because they can't all look at it for 5 minutes in the crowd for a crowd of 89 people, can they? Saying that line is clearly onside or offside. They've got to make that split decision. I was looking at it.
It should be 100%. You know, we're sitting in there paying money and we don't know what's going on. Do you know what? There's been many occasions I'm looking at group chats and all that going, is it offside or not? Because I don't know, you know what I mean? Sitting in the stand, that's not right. By the way, that is not right, you know what I mean? So they need to sort that out. So look, I'll tell you what they need to do. They need to scrap it. That's what they need to do. And I don't want it no more.
Well said, mate.
I don't want it no more. It is. I don't care if people keep telling me, "Oh, it's the people that are doing it." And all that. Sometimes it still comes down to opinion. It's not fact.
Kev,
Lee,
yesterday
it's the whole
cost Everton
system,
massively.
Yeah, the whole system. The whole system.
Let's get on to that, Dan, because it's all very well whether it works quickly one place and one place it takes time. The key is getting the decision right.
Yeah, absolutely.
That should be what VAR is there for, is to get the decision right. There is nobody who can tell me that Rodri handball in the penalty area was not a penalty. So how the referee never said, I didn't see it, so let me look at it, or Kavanagh, who was apparently doing whatever he was doing.
He's having a cup of tea.
He didn't even let the referee go and have a look.
Nah.
But when the referee was pushed on it, the referee says, I didn't see it, I was on the blind side. So go and have a look at it then.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And here's the other thing. The referee doesn't need VAR to tell him he could look at it on the monitor. So let's just make sure we remember that, Gooners, because you know what? We keep hearing narrative that the referee has to rely on VAR to go and view the monitor. No, he doesn't. If he didn't see it, he can go over and look at the monitor. He's the officiator, he's the referee. But they choose not to because, do you know what? Something ain't right. Ashley Cole got a yellow card yesterday, and rightly so, because he was asking the right question. He knows something's up.
Yeah, and do you know what's annoying about that, Kev? You're right. I was watching that incident, and I said he's going to get the yellow card in a minute because he's right. And the reason is like they can't explain it. So instead of saying, oh, like we said that, oh, I'll tell you what, Ashley, we'll send you off and get you.
Yeah, get you gone.
We'll get you
wrong,
gone.
Innit?
You know what I mean? Because I can't explain it, so you're in the wrong, you get fined and all that, and get you gone. I want him to come on there and say why that wasn't a handball. I want to hear this idiot Dermot Gallagher on Sky tomorrow trying to defend it, right? And what really annoys me about it is I see a week ago, and I'm going to bring up the Spurs one because that one was given against Manchester City, like, again, funny enough, it's against Manchester City. And that's funny. It's weird, you know what I mean? But he gets the ball shot straight at his arm, and it's because it's in an outstretched position. It's his hand from 3 yards, pinged at him. That ball's come down to him and he's gone like that. They turn around and say one's handball and one's not. It's ridiculous. It's scandalous at the highest level. And that's because it's a Spurs. You know, don't get me wrong, I loved it was against Spurs. But ultimately, that's not handball.
And then the one at Arsenal. It's simple as that.
2 minutes, an hour before that, you know what I mean? Like, he goes up with his arm like that. The same as the Tottenham one. Not given. So there's 3 penalties decisions there. Out of all of those penalties, 1 was given, and realistically, out of the 1, the other 2 were more penalties than the other one. It's it's ridiculous. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
It is. And do you know what, Lee? And I'll ask both of you this: have you ever known 2 seasons more controversial than the last 2?
No.
Since the introduction of VAR. It's a madness. This is supposed to be cutting out stuff like that. This is supposed to be a system that you go over to and go, not quite sure. Let's have a look. Yep, did touch his arm. Let's give it. And it's absolute madness that they're getting so much wrong, Kev.
Dan, listen, let me just tell you this. Let me just go back a bit. Controversially, do you remember we brought technology in to make the game better? Aston Villa stayed up because of technology not working in that Sheffield United game where they scored and it wasn't given. That should have been the wake-up call for all of these technology boffins to say, listen, guys, we got to get this right. We can't be having teams going down on the fact of failing technology, right? So I get all of that, VAR, the lines and all that. And people keep telling me, it is fit for purpose. It's the people who are doing it. No, they're all part of the same system. That's what they are. So when it goes to VAR, everybody's involved in the VAR system. They can't get the decisions right. I would rather the referee get it wrong and I have to accept it.
Yeah.
Dan, as opposed to taking 5, like the old days.
Yeah. We grew up with that, didn't we?
Waiting 5 minutes, Dan, Lee, waiting 5 minutes for them to turn around and still not give the penalty when it's staring everybody in the face. It drives me up the wall.
Incompetence. It's incompetence. It is,
Uh,
mate. And you know, something has got to be done with it. But I fear that we're going to see this for a while, guys. So unfortunately, I think it's
It's
going to
ruining
be.
the game, though, Dan. I'm
It
being
is. No, you're
serious.
right.
I am actually falling out of love with football, and I mean that, like, you know what I mean. I went and watched I'll tell you what. I went and watched a non-league game yesterday. 100 times better. There's tackles being thrown in there, like, you know what I mean. A bit of little scuffling and everything like that, right? But handbags. No one's getting sent.
The
No
referees,
one's
the
getting sent
official.
off. The referee's giving out a couple of yellow cards. There's a bit of pushing and shoving. There's no one rolling around on the floor. And at the end of the day, you know, when a goal's scored, no one's looking at it and going, "Oh, we better go and have a look at VAR before we go." They're all just enjoying that moment.
Well, look at Chelsea and Liverpool today. Look at Chelsea and Liverpool today. They've been celebrating. They must have felt their emotions must be all over the place. They've each celebrated 2 goals each and realised it ain't gone in, it ain't counted. They've had to watch 11 penalties each against them. It's just honestly, mate, it is ruining it. He's right.
What I'm saying is, if take VAR out of that game today, right? What a game of football that would have been. It would have been about 3-3. Right, and then you'd have had all the penalties, and you would be talking about what a fantastic
One of the
game.
best
One of the best finals ever. Yeah.
But what we're talking about is the incompetence of, is it there? Get rid
of
and
it.
then let's start enjoying our football again.
It's not fit for purpose.
Not fit for purpose.